What if I told you China didn't just build a dam? They built a jaw-dropping ship elevator, so powerful, so surreal, that it lifts entire cargo vessels up a mountain. This isn't science fiction. This is the real-life engineering wonder that's rewriting the limits of what humans can achieve, and trust me, stay with us, because what you're about to witness is the kind of story that history books will one day struggle to explain. To understand this miracle of machinery, we need to go back to where it all began, the mighty Yangtze River. It's the third longest river on Earth, slicing through China like a lifeline. But this river wasn't just a geographical feature, it was a dream and a problem. The river's unpredictable flow made transportation a nightmare. Flooding destroyed homes, halted trade, and claimed lives. So China dreamed big, the Three Gorges Dam, a megastructure that would tame the Yangtze once and for all. Voiceover continues over time-lapse construction footage. It would be the largest hydroelectric dam in the world. The answer was as wild as it sounds. Build an elevator for ships... Yes, a real elevator. Not for people, not for cars, for full-blown vessels weighing thousands of tons. They didn't just raise water levels... They engineered an aquatic staircase that could lift entire cargo vessels over 100 meters vertically in just 40 minutes. That's 3 times faster than traditional locks. And more importantly, it works like a dream. So how does it work? The elevator uses giant steel caissons. Think of them as bathtubs on tracks, filled with water. Ships float into them, and powerful winches pull the whole container upwards. It's a combination of brute force and delicate precision, and it's smart too. The system uses counterweights and dynamic braking to conserve energy. But here's the part that stuns engineers around the world. This monster of a machine can operate in less than ideal conditions, like earthquakes, torrential rain, and typhoon winds. It's not just about engineering. The ship elevator is a symbol of national pride, technological dominance, and ecological transformation. For China, it solved a century-old challenge. It connected inland provinces with the global trade network. And in doing so, it created an economic artery that rivals the Panama Canal. This machine doesn't just lift ships, it lifts entire economies. But here's where things get complicated. Not everyone is celebrating. Over 1 million people were displaced to make way for the dam. Hundreds of historic sites are now underwater. And environmentalists argue that the ecological cost was too high. Fish migration patterns disrupted biodiversity, threatened water quality, controversial, was it worth it? This question haunts the legacy of the ship elevator, and the answers aren't simple. Around the world, nations are watching and learning. Some are inspired, some are intimidated, and some are skeptical, but one thing's for sure. No country has done what China just did. This isn't just infrastructure. It's a flex, an engineering flex of the highest order. When you cut through mountains to move oil, steel, or ships, you're not just building. You're declaring something bold, that limits are for those who accept them. And China, it just erased another one. Don't miss part 2, where we dive into the global ripple effects, economic warfare, and whether this mega project has already changed your life without you knowing. Welcome back. As the sun rises over the colossal Three Gorges Dam, it reveals more than just concrete and turbines. It reveals one of China's boldest feats of engineering genius, a ship elevator that quite literally lifts vessels over a mountain. But this isn't science fiction, it's happening right now, and it's changing everything. Before the dam, the Yangtze River was a treacherous maze. Narrow gorges, violent rapids, and steep cliffs meant that ships had to either risk dangerous waters or offload cargo and carry it across land. Trade was painfully slow. When China decided to tame the Yangtze with the Three Gorges Dam, it wasn't just about flood control or generating electricity. It was about rewriting the very blueprint of inland water transportation. Enter the ship elevator, a vertical lift designed to transport boats up and down a massive 113-meter elevation difference that's taller than the Statue of Liberty. The idea simple, the execution anything but. The elevator was to be a vertical lift lock, essentially a giant steel bathtub on rails that can hoist ships along with thousands of tons of water from one level of the river to the next. This was not just about building a lift, it was about proving to the world that we could build something that no one else had dared to attempt. At the heart of this engineering marvel are counterweights and winches, massive steel cables operated by precision-controlled motors. The lift chamber itself weighs over 15,000 tons when filled with water. That's equivalent to about the Eiffel Towers moving up and down. It works like a seesaw. Counterweights balance the lift, allowing it to move with surprising grace. The whole process takes about 40 minutes, a blink compared to the hours or days a detour would require. Only smaller vessels up to 3,000 tons can use the ship elevator. Larger ones still use the 5-step ship lock next door, which can take up to 4 hours to complete. But make no mistake, the elevator handles a stunning 6 million tons of cargo per year, dramatically increasing the river's freight capacity. It's not just about convenience, it's about economics. By cutting travel time, China saves billions annually in transport costs. Of course, not everything about the project is cause for celebration. To build the dam and this elevator, China had to flood over 600 square kilometers of land. Entire towns were submerged. Over 1.3 million people were forced to relocate. My grandparents' graves are underwater now. Our family history is gone. The dam disrupted ecosystems, fish migrations, and even caused increased seismic activity in the region. The ship elevator, while an engineering masterpiece, is also a symbol of the monumental trade-offs China has made in pursuit of progress. And now, the world is watching. Developing countries are sending engineers to study this marvel. As China exports infrastructure under its Belt and Road Initiative, we may soon see similar elevators in Africa, South America, and even Eastern Europe regions with mountainous terrain and navigable rivers. But what happens when developing nations copy China's methods without considering the costs? The system isn't flawless. Early years saw mechanical malfunctions, power outages, and safety scares. In one incident, a vessel was stuck in the chamber for over 4 hours due to a sensor failure. Engineers had to reboot the entire system. We underestimated the complexity. The wear and tear on the gears was much faster than we expected. Despite its flaws, the Three Gorges ship elevator has become a national symbol of China's industrial strength, its engineering ambition, and its refusal to be bound by geography. Where others saw obstacles, China built a vertical highway for ships. Where the world expected barriers, they carved a path through mountains. But as with all great feats, there's a price. And the question isn't just what China built, but what it left behind in the process. Stay with us. In part 3, we'll uncover the global race now underway to build even larger, even higher, even faster ship elevators, and why China's next move could change maritime trade forever. At its core, the story of the ship elevator is about defiance. Against nature, against doubt, against stagnation. It proves something powerful when a nation invests not just in steel and concrete, but in imagination. Boundaries disappear. Mountains become passages, obstacles become assets. And rivers once feared become the very veins of prosperity. So the next time someone tells you a challenge is too big, a mountain too steep, a goal too ambitious, just point to the ship elevator at the Three Gorges Dam and say, watch how China made ships climb mountains. If you found this story jaw-dropping, hit that like button. Want more untold mega projects and engineering marvels? Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We've got stories that will blow your mind. And tell us in the comments, what's one engineering feat you think deserves more attention? Until next time, keep climbing, keep building, keep imagining. Like, comment, subscribe.